No, I think actually you have how many coaches here already? Probably I will
You're the
say
third one.
I will say the same like the coaches before. But anyway, I try to.
All right, we are now previewing the fixture, which will be on Saturday in the city of Cape Town. It will be Stellenbosch FC playing up against Solis FC. And we are of course joined by the away team coach for this particular fixture, Mr. Ernst Middendorp. Coach, maybe just your opening thoughts heading into the match. It's a cup competition. It's a tricky away trip to the mother city.
Yeah. Good afternoon. First, I think actually, what is a tricky match in these days? Was it a tricky match yesterday in Atteridgeville with two opponents out of different league levels? Is it more tricky to play Stellenbosch on Saturday? For us, I don't think so. They have all their own dynamic. For what reason ever you all of a sudden stay behind, not qualified for the next round? If it would be easy to answer to find proper solution, you would try to avoid it. But anyway, good. Stellenbosch is definitely a PSL team in the moment, was a good record over the last few weeks, result and performance related. On our side, we have probably 2 points where I was thinking could have had more on the PSL league table. Basically, virtual, we make these 2 points more. Unfortunately, the goal was not allowed. We scored. Nobody knows till now why. Anyway, talking about this tells you a bit of a story that we definitely have a certain priority at Swallows FC, meaning the PSL status, and in particular in this year, is very, very crucial for us. Doesn't mean we are not taking it serious on Saturday. Definitely, we are not leaving anybody behind. Everybody who is available, and in the moment we have quite a situation. Only Van Zele, Detla Beker, and Givmore Cooper, who both are not available for selection, but it's not new. They are not available for selection since several weeks. Or in my time, they were not available at all. Good. The rest is available for selection. Our issue is more with the new players coming in lately in terms of the registration scenario, what everybody of you guys know. We were at Swallows FC that we have a number of players, Evans Rosicki, Bolgani Sem, David Romi, Tawanda Macheke, just to mention some, who haven't been involved in competitive matches in the past, let's say 6, 7, probably even longer months. And that's a little bit a tricky situation for us. What can we expect? Are they 45 minutes players in the moment? Do we push them a little bit more in training? There is no really final answer. We will definitely handle it in a different, unusual way. The change of 4 players in halftime, what we have seen last Friday, will be not an unusual one. I try to respect it, that in the moment I cannot expect 60 minutes, 90 minutes from certain players. For example, Bogdani Sem, with his history in his last club. So then we have to deal with it. He's a valuable player, but in the moment he can give us probably maximum 45 minutes, and that is a bit a situation where we try to handle it adequately going forward. It's just the game. It's good in the moment. Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, that we have 1 game a week. It's a good possibility for us to periodize it adequately. And yeah, let's see what we can do in this tricky game on Saturday in Cape Town.
Thank you, Coach. Let's take the first question. Tsepo.
Thanks. Coach, Tsepo from ENC. So this game, obviously when you got into Swallows, we are seeing changes, positive changes at the Swallows. And you mentioned that the priorities is in the league for obvious reasons. But how do you approach this Nedbank Cup, especially for the players' mindset that you are playing a different competition? Do you think maybe mentally it's more of a relaxed approach, not to stress about the league situation? Thanks.
No, actually, I don't make any specific different approach for a cup game or for a league game. Definitely not at that time. It starts to get critical for us with our resources, with our numbers of players so far available. If it comes to a situation where you play Saturday and then you play Tuesday the league, the cup game, and then you play Friday another game, then in our situation we would really start thinking about where is our priority, what is requested now in terms of the yellow cards, in terms of the injury, in terms of whatever is a handicap inside the squad. But at that time, as I said, we had our last game Friday. We're very happy to have a very competitive match on Saturday, and that is how we handle it currently.
Okay, Coach, moving right along. Do we have any other questions in the room? Okay, Chad Kelly Clate, and then Tembo Shavala.
Thanks, Coach. With Stellenbosch's first game out as well, since the news of Jan Wash on injuries, there'll also be that moment of silence before the game, which I'm sure will bring up emotions out of them. Does that add a different dynamic to this game, and how do you see that playing a part in their performance?
It is a difficult situation, of course, for the team Stellenbosch. I could start describing the moment or the scenario around, because I had it a number of times in Maritzburg United, being in charge, Seele and another player, and then 4 or 5 days later passed away, and then 4 or 5 days later you have to play, to compete with the squad, with the team. Yeah, it's definitely really emotional, something where you have a certain scenario, handicap or whatever. It's difficult for me or for us to describe it. We were looking for help. We outsourced support at the time in Maritzburg United, and probably in Stellenbosch they will do too. It's a bunch of players very close to this passed away one, but good. It's really difficult to look into our game on Saturday with a perspective to expect a scenario and to describe a scenario. Although I don't want really to talk too much about it. It's difficult. It's definitely something on the Stellenbosch side. It's not an easy task, that's for sure.
Coach, I'm looking at the support that you have been getting from the Swallows traditional supporters, but now, yesterday with the Dondol match, Supersport losing, has it made you somewhat change the way you look at the smaller division teams? I mean, of course, you're playing against a PSL team, but what happened yesterday? What does it say to you as Coach Ernst with this edition of the Nedbank Cup?
I'm always, I think I find it very interesting to see Pirates lost in former years. I don't know, was it Meluti or if I don't forget the name, college team, 4-1 or something like this. Dondol lost now. It will always happen. You lose. What is more dramatic to lose against Meluti, against Dondol in the first round, or is it more dramatic if you go all the way with the team to the final and then you lose against the lower division side. I don't know what's more painful, what's more discussable, what's more delicate or whatever. I have no idea. But it happens all the time. I remember it was described as a disaster. It's ICU. It's whatever in terms of guys. Football is a worldwide respectful game, and you play 11 against 11. If you play football with your body, with your mindset, and if the mindset, the brain of some of guys in certain teams are not working, it doesn't matter which team or which players we are talking about. You can do whatever you want as a coach. You can swap around, you can be the crazy man on the side. If it is gone and you feel it, and I'm quite sure that Kevin Hunt will tell you at a certain moment, he thought, something will happen here today. You feel it. You know the players, how far they are, and I think a number of guys probably were not really in this game to push forward and to make it happen. That's the reality. It happens. It's something what we definitely have not a scenario like this for the game on Saturday. It's a very respected Stellenbosch team with a good run, as I said before, in terms of results, in terms of performance, as we have all seen. And we have to be our best. Of course, we have to be even. That's our delicate situation in the moment. Defensively, we are okay. Defensively, we got it. We know what we have to do in a certain setup, but in our forward movement, we definitely have to improve. We work on certain moments, on the 5 moments inside the game, transition-wise or set plays, despite till now a number of soccer experts don't respect the 5th moment, the set plays, but the set plays are very, very crucial. I'm talking about since 10 years, but it's still not have not arrived in our environment here in South Africa. But all over the world, the set plays, we have seen it at the World Cup, are very, very crucial moments. And in particular, if you play probably teams on a lower division, put a little bit more effort into this direction.
Okay, maybe the last round of questions, if there are any. Sorry? Oh, okay, you can go ahead.
Coach, I'm just taking on the last part of your statement. Set plays. We saw you scoring and securing a win against Richards Bay with a set play. Is that the direction that we're seeing you implementing at Swallows, that even if things don't go the way you want, you always bank on the set play? And the pain of losing that match, Coach, on the lighter note, has the coach healed from losing cup finals, missing out on the league, and officials coming through and doing their own thing? Where's your headspace on that, Coach?
No, yes. Also I must correct you. We scored 2 goals from set plays in the PSL. 1 goal, as you have seen, against Richards Bay, and the second goal from set plays we scored against TS Galaxy. It's a goal for me. I'm not what the rules and regulation and where you find a little bit of that's not my job, that's not my work. When Siponelo showed this next day or immediately after the game, we have proof, we have evidence, and I don't know even what the so-called Monday evening referees are talking. You can't, and it doesn't help us that obviously this institution is taking the linesman out for a number of weeks. It doesn't help us. Set plays always have been in my entire 30 years and in my entire 402 PSL games have always been something where I put a lot of effort in. And it doesn't matter if big authorities and experts you score only by set plays. I heard it over 12 months, but anyway, it's very crucial. It's very crucial in this direction, and we put effort in very much during training session. And it's good to see that something is coming out. But on the other side, I'm only 54 days in the work with the team, with Swallows FC. And that is not too much. If we go to the political side, if a certain party enters the government or come into the political situation, got selected, I think it's 100 days, no? 100 days, yeah. You talk about 100 days, and 100 days, then you should look into it, something happened. In soccer it's different. In soccer it's definitely different. In soccer they ask you after 14 days, when do we see results? When do we see something? What's going on? You are so long already. I'm quoting a journalist some days ago. It's madness. It's unbelievable. It's something, Healing is not a process where we are in. As coaches, let me be very clear, as coaches, we are never in a building process. As coaches, we are never in a rebuilding process. As coaches, we are never in a healing process, because simple easy, in 4 or 5 days is the next game. Now you want to talk about healing, you want to talk about building, you want to talk about rebuilding. Guys, we are not in an economy, we are not being the CEO of a company where on a 28th of February you have to provide some numbers. That's not our job. Our job is in this moment game, and it's nice. I always talk development. I have a different understanding. The same like on a professional level. You perform, you progress to win. It's not doesn't matter. No, in development, no, it's not about winning. Of course it's about winning. Perform, progress, to win. Combine this. And that's very crucial. We have to accept this, and therefore I didn't need too much. As you have seen, whatever, if you lose a game, you need an hour or two. Don't use more, because then you waste your energy and your time in terms of preparation for the next game.
Right, we're gonna move on to Bendulo. We can just get him a microphone. Congratulations, by the way, coach, on the milestone. Over 400 matches.
402, and I don't think in the next 50 years in the PSL history there will be no foreign coach to catch me.
But congratulations, big milestone, coach.
Thank you, coach. Great to get from DStv, coach. Coach, I'm just going to follow up on my.
I think the mic is off, just switch it on there.
I said I thought that my ears are blocking, but it's not the case. Oh, yeah.
Coach, you've just mentioned that you have 54 days to Swallows FC, and you've mentioned that how set plays are so important in part of your game plan. We've seen it working for you, Kaizer Chiefs strikers like Nekovic and Castro, but now it's Swallows with the thin squad you have and the players you have in your squad. Do you think you are there, or you are nearly there in getting that game plan of using set plays as part of your winning strategy, or you still need to get some additions on your team? It's just a matter of matches from the club to get you this place. Thank you.
We have to look into like a piece of paper. Paper has a front page and a back page. The front page is to look into it to say, okay, do we have this type of players who can hit the ball with a header into the net? We have Sipo, Yagan, Wasim, Malinga, Evans, Machik is coming in. But we have a number of players where we really can put the power into the set plays, attacking the ball and being successful. There's no doubt about it. The back page of a paper is, and that was very often and that was more important for me to see, is there anybody in the squad who can hit the ball to where this young gentleman, Simonello is standing there, to hit the ball into this direction, into this really pinpoint the ball to this. Is there anybody who really can assist and deliver the ball into the proper situation? We have Gregory Damons, Lindo, as we have seen, Mshali, he needs to get a little bit, kicked his butt a little bit more over things, but a very qualified player, there's no doubt about it, but playful, childish in certain moments, he can do better. But we have these players. We have the players who can assist, and we have the players in this moment who can hit the ball in. Even I'm going so far. We are working very close, and I don't leave my hands off the DStv team. Very, very crucial to play more than less, going into the right direction, directly the same. We mix them up. These are players, and the way how they work should be really combining with what we are doing, because mixing up, and I can't allow to get players from the DStv team coming to us and they don't know the procedure, the setup of the training sessions. And if you look into it, no. Sibonello, there was nobody, from this gentleman on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock in Dobsonville to see DStv team from Swallows FC against TS Galaxy. No. But we scored 3 goals on the DStv team side, and 3 goals per set play. Galaxy played and played and played. They're still playing. And the set plays was a secret to win it 3-0. If you see the game, you think about, how does this come? But tells you the story in the end of the day. The effectiveness we have seen, and of course, we work on it day in, day out.
Okay, do we have any further questions? Let's go to Chad there.
I thought you told me you are handicapped, you are sick, but you are very active.
I have to be, coach. I can't help but respond to the milestone, coach. 402 games. Most of them with Marisburg United. Are we likely to see you back there in the future as well? But how do you summarize your 402 games in South African football so far? Incredible, because I can see sometimes when you honor players, 280, wow, 200 games played in the PSL, Jesus, my goodness, that's something. Then I'm thinking, if he gets already this mention with 280 games, and he's already the big shot on us, wow. Then I hear coaches, I don't know, big Cabo Sondo and whatever, 200 and something. And they are still only by 50%. I don't know when they catch me in this direction. I think it's a huge compliment. And please respect the decision of the chairmen, the owners. They don't bring somebody in who doesn't know what he is doing. And definitely not somebody brings you 4 times or 3 times back. Why should he do this? And you think, hey, this guy is so out of knowledge, he doesn't know what. 402, and it will be probably a number more, personally is an incredible milestone. You cannot discuss it away. There are no arguments, and if you start to argue or to give reasons about it, probably you end up that I pay the club to sign me. That's not the case. I'm putting some money into the retirement fund. Brian is coming tomorrow. That means I'm earning some money, and let me wait and see. But anyway, it's a pleasure for me to see this, and good. It's fine. It's okay.
Okay, we'll sneak in just one more from Veli.
Aye.
Yeah.
Sorry that I'm not talking the same like each and everybody. That's sorry a little bit of the handicap a little bit. But anyway.
Experience of the 400.
Yeah.
And it's actually more, coach. Coach, it's actually more matches because we've coached in other leagues as well.
Yeah. Oh God, the other one I must be over 1,000. Yeah.
Yes. Coach, I was talking to Dumisani Zuma recently. He says you are more than a father to him, based on what you've done for him, from getting into the top flight. And one area we were also talking about was listening to coaches, listening to players, and also maybe to club officials, it differs to how you are seen maybe on the media space and just you've got this oppressive nature or look about you, but the respect that one you expect from your peers and those that you work with. How do you look at this?
I mentioned it already. Of course, I'm stubborn. There's no doubt about it. At a certain moment, I'm showing signs of madness. No doubt about it. But one stuff I can assure: I never go into a training session without preparation. I never go into taking over a team, doing the assessment immediately and knowing immediately what can I expect. I respect the reality, I respect the facts, and if I cannot play tiki-taki Barcelona style with a team because the players are not around, then I don't do this. If I see there is a certain element of quality, but in a different way, whatever is, and I hear so much about game model, I don't know, principles, elements, we follow it up, one day it will come. I hear so much about it, and I would really like to and that is what I'm talking about. Knowledge is a certain power, but knowledge gives you a certain confidence. And I'm not going into a direction to talk about competence. Competence is the expertise you are bringing and the experience you are bringing. So that means this is something, and that's the quality of assessment. It's not the number only of 402 games. The quality of assessment, and I haven't been always the closest friend of Dumisani Zuma. I respect him with all his skills. I respect him with all his quality. Coming to Bloemfontein at that time out of KwaZulu-Natal, where he was already with a number of coaches going for trials and nobody saw something. I saw one training session, I went straight to Ike and said, sign this guy. And immediately inside the preseason, and he played more than less immediately one of the first games showing that the talent. But if guys like this, players, they are the one. It's not, they are the one who are recognizing what are you doing, who are able to see what are you talking to them about. And believe me, one stuff is very, very crucial. I'm not smoothing around with players. If a player has deficit, if a player has to improve in certain direction, I don't wait too long. And I said, come on, buddy, we have to chat, we have to talk. This is what are you doing? You think you are a bigger player here and so on, but let me tell you this and that and another part needs improvement. I can help you, we can help you on the team side, but please don't be so stubborn and ignore it. So this is something where players in the end of the day, if they are honest, whatever, stopping and they are recognized, that's good for them, that's good for the development, that's good for the progress. And it's very, these are the type of recognition, of assessment to your work. If you get what you quoted just now with Dumisani Zuma and a number of other players worldwide, it doesn't matter, Iran, China, where I'm still in contact with people in Asia or Europe. This is very crucial for me to get this feedback, and this is what means the most for me, to get the feedback from people you are working with. Either it is a club owner who shows to bring you back 3 times, to bring you back twice, or it is a player in this direct form as he mentioned it.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to end it here. All the best, coach, for the weekend. So we'll take...
It was a pleasure, guys.